fix it. Somebody else is going to do the honing here, I think. So if I've actually established the bevel at the correct angle that I said, then hopefully I'll do it on the 8K side. This should take the marker off, hopefully, or else I'm full of garbage. And it does. I'm going to do about 10 passes. And it's off, yeah. Okay. Yeah. So you guys come over, take a look at this, or let me show it to the camera first of all. There's black marker above it because I colored on the spine or the belly of it, but you'll see the edge is completely, it's shiny. It completely removed. I matched the angle there. This is actually a common knife sharpening technique. It's you color the bevel and actually you can actually see what's actually contacting the hone. So it's the same thing. This razor is actually sharp. I'll let you feel it with your thumb. So take a look at that. It's a sharp bevel, but it's got, and you can tell me whether or not it's removed. The black is removed.
Yeah, the black.
Yeah. The bevel is shiny.
Yeah.
It matched it up.
Yeah, it feels sharp.
Except the heel, it's kind of a messed up blade.
Yeah.
Pretty common stone. Okay, so, all right, go.
You're going?
Okay, cool. So I just proved that we set the bevel with one piece of tape on the spine, just one piece of regular electrical tape. And I recolored the bevel. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to have Sergio hone the razor, and we're going to count the passes that it takes. Or we're going to do maybe 20 passes and see if we actually really did completely remove the double bevel. If the black is still on the line, which is what I'm banking on,
okay,
then we know we haven't done it. I kind of want to get a feel for how long it's going to take. This is an easy razor. This is got pretty soft steel. It's a full hollow ground razor, and we're using the mighty Norton 4K, which everybody uses here, or most people use it. So why don't you start honing this thing? Start with, let me make sure. Yeah, why don't you do about 20 passes and see if
that changes things at all.
If it does,
I
then
actually like to hold the.
yeah, you like to. You can pour this water on it too in between.
Okay. So I'm gonna do 20 to start, right?
And Sergio's got similar technique, but you can get a different perspective on how it's done.
I actually personally like to use a little bit of inclination.
Yeah.
I feel if I incline the hone a little bit, I get even a softer touch.
Okay, so are we about 20?
Yeah.
So? Okay. So let's take a look at the razor. Is it there's still black on the edge?
There's a tiny bit up there.
I got my glass.
Maybe if I do 10 more?
Okay, this one went pretty quickly. All right, so you've got a little bit of double bevel still at the front here. That actually went a lot faster than most razors I've done. That surprises me, but
You want me to do another 10?
keep doing it on the toe.
Sergio's awesome technique. I imagine when you put your versus a Fedora would be different.
I'm actually pretty surprised at how quick that came off. You're probably about there now. Let me check it out.
I am too, actually.
Yeah, I'm really surprised. But if I've literally done hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of passes when I've had a wedge, with a DMT 1200 grit stone, and it still didn't fully. It takes a lot. It could take a lot of work.
There's a tiny bit. I
There's
think
still a little bit.
But very little. I will get in there.
Yeah, there's still a little bit there. It's mostly still a little bit on the toe. The reason is you need to kind of lift this up. This one's kind of bent, but so we did about 40 passes and we just about got off the double bevel.
Do you want me to do a stroke like this a little bit to get the toe more?
That's all right. Well, that's kind of, I guess, proved my point. So that's just something that I would recommend doing is coloring the bevel if you want to take it to a fine grit stone and see if you're removing the metal all the way to the edge. And if you are, you can use your fine grit stones. If I had a new razor and it doesn't have a double bevel on it, I'd probably do about 50 passes on the yellow caudicle and it would probably shave great. If I don't, then I'm going to have to reestablish the bevel on something coarse and move up through the progression. Or else, if it was set with a tape, then I got to tape it every single time that I hone the razor. So, that's something that you have to choose early on. So that's kind of the double bevels, and the last kind of thing that I'm going to go into right now, unless somebody else has another question, is honing razors with a smile. They're happy razors.
Can I see that razor?
Which one?
The one you just did.
Yeah, definitely.
Thanks.
This razor is very light smile. This one's got a little bit of a smile too. It's the toe and the heel go up. It kind of goes like that. And if I put the blade on, and if I were to go straight down the hone, it would only sharpen the middle because this part is the only part that's touching. If I put the blade straight down and I make an X pattern here, the heel is not touching, so the heel is not going to get sharp. I'm only getting the blade sharp from here to here. What you have to do, or what I do to sharpen this type of blade, is a type of a rolling stroke. And I'm going to exaggerate it a lot right here, in that it would start like this. And remember how I told you how important it was to be able to use your pinky to kind of change the height, the contact of it. I'm going to use that and a slight roll of my wrist. And I'm only going to be contacting this portion of the hone, maybe the last ½ inch. But I'm going to contact it from the heel, and I'm going to lift it up so that towards the end, the toe is the only thing on the blade, or on the hone. So going back the other way, it's the same. So it looks like this. It's very similar to honing a curved knife. And it's really something that you have to develop. But I start with my pinky down, and I kind of lift my pinky up slightly to contact the toe, right? Same thing going this way. So that's kind of the rolling stroke for you right there. And alternatively, you could use a really narrow hone. Here's a hone that I got. It's a Belgian caudicle that's 3/4 of an inch wide and 8 inches long. And these will, it only touches one portion of the blade. You have to be, pretty careful to develop a feel to use this type of a stone. But that'll, do sort of the same thing, rotate the contact. And, that'll get you there, too. So that's kind of how I hone a smiling razor with either a really narrow hone or, for the bevel creation stage here, on a 1200 grit, you have to, they don't make them that thin, so I kind of have to do this type of a stroke. But it's not as pronounced as that. It's just a little bit, maybe lifted just a little bit. You can barely even see it, but that's what it's doing. So I think that's pretty much it. Does anybody have any questions on any specific topics, I guess, right now? Or does that pretty much cover it for you?
I have an odd question.
I might not